What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video, your girl is here to bring you a fun video. It is my 3 looks 1 palette with my Nomad Cosmetics Cartegena Magica palette. I already did a first impression. It should already be up by now, so I will have it linked up above and down below for you guys. And I just wanted to go ahead and do a 3 looks with this baby. I knew when I purchased it I was going to want to do a 3 looks. I wanted to really challenge this palette, and I think I already began to do that in my first impressions, and I am just going to continue to further challenge and get more acquainted with this baby. This is the first look on my eyes today, so if you're interested in seeing this look immediately, you will. But in case you're interested, I will be doing, like I said, 2 more looks. And yeah, if you're interested in seeing this 3 looks 1 palette, let's just get into it. Hey guys, so we are here to do look number 1 together. As you can see, I've already done my left eye, and I actually really like it. I like how it came out. I like the kind of artistic. I did a graphic liner, so I went around, and then I also connected it to do a wing as well. So I think it looks really, really cool, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other eye with you guys. So first we need to prime. I did just go ahead and go in with my Nomad Cosmetics eyeshadow base, which is the lightest, or one of the lightest bases that I have in my collection. Okay, so we are just gonna go right into it, and I am just gonna go, I'm not gonna say the names this time. I'm just gonna go right into this beautiful, beautiful red, and we are going to pretty much just pack her on. And I do start to build the winged out effect as well. And then I'm just going to blend with this same brush slowly up. And I'm not going to add any additional product. Okay, now I just cleaned off my brush, and I'm going to go into the next shade, which is this beautiful, beautiful brownie orange shade. And what we're going to do is make this my actual transition color. So I'm just going to pack her on top of that. And then we're going to blend them both together and blend them out. And if you feel the need to just intensify the red because you went too far over it with the orange, then just reapply. It's all just a blending game at this point. Oops, I'm sorry. And as you can see, 2 shades, both looking really, really good. I like where this is at. So that's pretty much the crease. Really the biggest part of this look was cutting the lid and applying the lid shade. So we're going to cut my lid, and with that I'm going to use my MAC Groundwork paint pot. This is the paint pot that I use to clean up my brows, and I'm actually going to use that same brush. I'm going to use the same brush that I use to cut my brows, just to apply this as well. I'm not going to do it on camera just because I have to look really close to my eye, but I'm going to follow my eye shape and then go slightly above and then just wing it out. So I will be right back when all of that's complete. Alrighty, so it didn't take me too long this time, which is actually very, very nice. And this is what your girl is looking like. Now is where it gets a wee bit complicated. I'm going to take this shade right here, which is the lightest yellowy shade, and I'm going to take a liner brush. This one happens to be from Sigma. It's their small ankle brush, and this is one of my thinnest eyeliner brush, or my thinnest brow brushes or angle brushes. Anyways, and I'm going to draw a very thin line just to define the cut crease. It is going to take a while. So yeah. Okay, so you can really see that my eyelids droop in inconsistency, but overall I think the thickness of this line is pretty good. So we're going to keep it where it's at, and we will finish out the sculpted part a little bit later once we've laid down the lid shades. Now for the lid shades, we are going to slowly build. So the first one I'm going to go into is this yellowy green shade that I absolutely adore. We're just going to take an ECM Sable brush and pack her on. Once I've gotten pretty about to a third of my lid, I'm going to go ahead and stop. And then next I need to do the orange. And the orange, I went into the shade that's in the very middle of this palette. And we're going to once again just pack it on using the other side of this ECM brush. And then we're just going to go back and forth between the two sides with the two products and blend. And once I feel satisfied, which I do now, we're just going to stop. Oh, was I in the... Hopefully you guys saw that, because otherwise that would have been moot. Okay, then we're going to go into Omega, which is supposed to be the darkest shade. On my complexion, at least, it is not. It is actually lighter than Otro Dominus, which is the red. But anyways, we're going to take this shade, and this is going to be applied right here. I would say this shade is pretty much, it's one of the closer shades to my skin tone in this palette, at least. But it's not really that close. And get some more of that orange. Okay, so that is the lid shades. And now what we're gonna do is go right back into the really small angled brush and go right back into that same really light shade. And we are just going to finish constructing the shape of the liner. So what I'm gonna do is apply some liner under where I stopped with that shade Omega. And I'm going to try my best to make the wings the same. I think it's close enough. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to build the lower lash wing part. So I like to start my wings in the inner. So that's how I do it, regardless of how I'm doing the wing, whether it's eyeshadow or a liner, like liquid liner or whatever. Even gel liner with the pen or with the brush, I do it this way as well. And then what we're going to do is start to build the actual wing part. So we're going to slowly start to go up. And these are uneven, so we're going to try my best not to mess it up too much. Okay, I think we're gonna leave it as it is. I have just a wee bit of fallout, which, there's my brush. Okay, so I had just a wee bit of fallout, so I went ahead and just wiped that away. Now on this eye, I want to stay on with you guys so we can just do the lower lash line and everything together, and I'll do everything else off camera. I am just going to go ahead and apply my waterline really quickly, and this is the Linda Hallberg Crayon in Anger Mood. Out of all of my pencils, this is one of the easier ones for me to actually work with. Then what I'm going to do is take that same brush. Did I use this? I used it. I did. I don't know where I'm going through. With the red, and we are just going to blend out that liner and try and start to smoke out my lower lash line. And then after that, we are going to take another brush and we are going to smoke out the lower lash line with the brown that we used. And yeah, at least to my eye, they kind of disappeared, but it's okay. It's the thought that matters. So let's do our inner corner veti quickly. And inner corner today is this more glittery, or is it this one? The more glittery orange. So we're just gonna pick it up on a beautiful pencil brush by BK Beauty, which was in the bundle by Brett Clark. I don't think the bundle will still be available by the time this video uploads, but if it is, I would recommend it. I really enjoyed that bundle and I enjoy the brushes so far. So that is all for the eye look. What I need to do now is hop off camera. I need to do my mascara, I need to do my blush, my lips, my highlighter, and then I will come back with my finished look. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. And y'all know your girl is happy right now. I am happy as a clam. I am wearing my Halloween themed earrings yet again. On my lips today, I have a NYX Lip Tease in the shade Camel. Cheeks are all the normal. I will have them all listed down below. And yeah, I think this is a real fun, real saucy, real cute makeup look, and I'm happy I created it today. So if you're interested in seeing look number 2, let's just get into it. Hey guys, so I am here to bring you my second look in this 3 looks 1 palette, and as you can see, it's very neutral, very brown. And I did that on purpose. I wanted to show that in case you are a neutral lover, you could still purchase this palette and get that typical brownie look with the gold on top, as well as be able to really play with the colorful shadows in this palette. I feel like this palette and their Orient Express, they're really trying in their own way to get neutral lovers the ability to, you know, try their brand, but also to try color from their brand, which is not a bad thing at all. So I just went ahead and primed with my Playing In Makeup by Yolando primer in the shade, I always forget the shade E, and we're just gonna hop right into this palette. So I'm gonna go into this brown. Out of all the browns in this palette, this is definitely the one that has been most intriguing to me, and I think it's because it has the most interesting undertone, and really it's just a warm undertone. There's nothing really groundbreaking or anything. I'm sorry if you guys can hear any like noise. I have cranked up my volume on my camera because I noticed that even when I was upping my volume and editing, it still wasn't giving, I feel, as much volume as you guys wanted. I didn't crank it back to where it was, but hopefully it's a little bit louder for all of you all who have been struggling to hear me, and I can tell you guys with all certainty, I am not a soft-spoken person. It's not a thing. If anybody knows me in real life, you know I am not a soft-spoken person. You can hear me when I talk. It's just something between me and talking in this camera. You just can't hear me, and I think it's because most people who have YouTube videos and who do YouTube videos, they just have cameras or they scream, and I'm just not a screamer unless I'm pissed off, and I'm just not pissed off when I'm doing makeup. So yeah, anyways, long story short, I did increase my volume, not for my last look but for this look and of course the subsequent looks. So please let me know if you can hear me more now, because I would appreciate getting some feedback, because if you don't tell me, I won't know. Then I went into the darkest brown in this palette, and I did this because I really, like I said, my first impression, I'm just trying to really challenge this palette as I try with all of my palettes that I purchase, because I want to get the ins and the outs. I want to know the ins and the outs for the palette when I am done testing it out, and that's what I did today. I just wanted to challenge it, and I wanted to challenge to see if it actually will deepen up the previous brown. And as you can see, okay, so that's pretty much how good it's going to get. Oh, this might be adding to my light. No wonder. I was like, why is my face so light? It's because I have my computer here trying to upload some video for you guys. So hopefully that's better. That's a little bit more true to my actual complexion. Next, what is next? Next, we're doing our lid shade. So we are going to go into the shade that is the bronzy shimmer in this palette, and I'm just going to pick it up on my ECM brush, and we're just going to apply it. Ooh, Fallout City. And I brought this up way too high. I am struggling. It's okay. We'll make this work. The devil's a lie. Hold on. I need a... Here we go. Great. I don't think I'm powdered well enough. It's fine. We'll worry about that later. So I'm just going to keep blending. And I'm just going to add a little bit of that transition color. It's doing something. I don't know if it's doing what I want it to do, but it's all good. Then I'm just going to do the exact same two shades on my lower lash line, starting with the darker of the two browns. And then I'm going to use that exact same brush to go into the other brown. Alrighty, and then last but certainly not least, for eyeshadow, we are going to go into the inner corner, and I felt like this was the only shade that I hadn't used, and I figured let's go for it. So this is the more metallic-y version of the orange shades that they have provided in this palette. And that's a wrap for my eyeshadow look. Super easy, super quick. All I need to do now is add on my liner. I have my one size black liner in my waterline, and then I am using my Benefit They're Real mascara, and then I'll be back to let you guys see the whole finished look. Alrighty guys, so this is the final look. And I can tell y'all easily that this is not going to be my favorite look out of all three that I do from this palette. It just did not incorporate my favorite shadows from this palette, nor overall is the look very unique. But I wanted to do it just to show the versatility and the difference that you can get using this palette, because I feel like a lot of people just see the color and they don't see the neutrals that could be used. So my next look, I don't really know, but I feel like I haven't really taken full advantage of the purples. I did kind of do a purpley pink look. I really don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm excited to see what's going to come from it. Oh, because I haven't told you guys what's on my face. So I used a limited edition NARS blush, which is the Boys Don't Cry blush. Absolutely love this blush. Then I used a combination on my lips. I used my NYX Cold Brew, and then I used my Melt liquid lipstick in Golden just to lighten up the brown a little bit, to kind of kind of match my creased shade. And that's pretty much it. Everything else will be listed and linked down, well, listed down below. My links are too long. I can't do that on these 3 looks on palette, so we will just list. I'm sorry. If I can find a way to shorten up my actual links, I will do that, and then I'll be able to link a little bit more. But as of right now, we're just gonna do the listing. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next look. Alrighty guys, so your girl is doing a lot of pre-filming for October. I'm really excited for, I just ran up the stairs. I'm really excited for doing hopefully 31 videos this month. I'm really excited. Are you guys enjoying the videos thus far? I know not all of them are like actually Halloween themed, but I think that either way they're just really cool, and you guys get to see some new releases that I've gotten my hands on, also just some cool concepts that I've been thinking about doing. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the few Halloween looks that I am busting out. I'm trying to do some really cool Halloween looks. I've been plotting for a little while now. And hopefully you guys enjoyed them or are enjoying them still. Who knows? So I just primed with my Nomad Cosmetics primer, and now we're gonna get into completing this eye. So I'm gonna go into the yellow, and that is going to be my transition color for today. And I brought this amount of primer up really high. I didn't have the other eye this high, but it's okay. It is okay. I'm just using a nice fluffy brush. This one happens to be from Smith Cosmetics. I really do enjoy their brushes. I think I have like 2 or 3. Really enjoy them, and I would recommend them in case you are wondering. I enjoy all the brushes that I use. I've decluttered all of the brushes that I detest, so any brush that you see me using in a tutorial or whatever, I'd highly recommend. And I am trying to do like more of a curved shape, which is why I really brought this yellow down far. So yeah. Then we're gonna go into this orangey brown. I can't decide if I want to call this a brown or orange. I feel like it's more of an orange than a brown, but you know, I also feel like it's just in that realm of things that don't have a definitive zone, if you will. So I'm just slowly building up my crease, and now that I've packed on the color, we are just going to blend. And this blend, all of this eyeshadow look, this blend is pretty easy just because these are very natural colors just to blend into each other. So I'm really enjoying this palette for that. It's not like I'm having difficulty blending the shades or even the colors because they're not in each other's quadrant or whatever the color family thing is. I don't know. Color theory, that is what it's called. The color theory in this palette is really nice and cohesive. Then what I'm gonna do, because that's pretty much blended itself, we're gonna go into the red in this palette, and we're gonna pack her on. Now the red for me was the more challenging shade in this look. Not because of the formula, not because of the blendability, nothing like that. It's just purely because of my eye shape. I was trying to make sure that it was high enough that you guys could really see it, but it was a little bit of a mess. But I think I came to kind of a consensus, you know, after doing this now twice, because I messed up the first version that I did it. And really, it's just one of those shadows that's just going to deepen up the orange, and you're going to see it on the lower, on my like lid or whatever, but you know, it's not going to be its own thing too high in my crease, which I'm okay with now. And I'm just going to take that same brush that I had the orange on and just blend her a little bit, just to make sure there's orange everywhere outside of the red. And then we're just going to go back in with the red. All right, so that's pretty much set and golden. Like I said, these shades are very easily blendable together. No real big problem with that. Then what I did is I took my MAC paint pot and Groundwork, and I did go ahead and cut my lid. And I didn't do too much cutting. I honestly just wanted a nice clean base for my purple metallic, because I felt like I hadn't really given these purple metallics some life or a chance or really anything, and I wanted to get to know them a little bit more. But first, what I did is I went back into that red just to blend out the edges of that concealed spots. That, in my opinion, helps just for your shadows to really just blend seamlessly, or at least better. It may not be seamless, but it's going to be better than how it would be if you did not put that additional shadow on the edges. And then I went into the darker purpley pinky shade, and I'm just going to use the same side that I used with the concealer, but I'm not going to wet this shadow, and I am just going to press pretty firmly, because this shadow does have glitter in it, and I'm trying not to get too much on my face or anywhere in my eye look that I don't want it to be. So we're doing pretty good here. Then what I did is I took an even smaller lid brush and I went into the lighter purple in this palette, and I just went up the center just to add a little bit of something something, just a little something something, not too much. And because I don't wet it, there's not a huge difference between the shades, but you know, in my brain I feel like there is. And then we're just going to go ahead and do my lower lash line really quickly. Same shades as always. I'm going to start off with the red, blend it out with the orangey brown, and then lastly sweep the whole situation together with that yellow. That I could not get those words out. Okay, now we're going to go into the orange. Very little product when I'm doing my lower lash line, because I don't want the shadows to go too far. And that's saying something for me, because your girl loves a lower lash line that just goes on for days. And then we're going to go into the yellow and connect her up. Always my goal is to connect up to the upper lash line situation. And then we're going to go back into that smaller lid brush and go right back into that same shade, and that is going to be my inner corner highlight. And we are just going to blend her up and blend her down. In my waterline, your girl went for a different shade. I didn't want to do another red. I felt like I had already used my red liner quite a bit during this 3 Looks 1 palette, so I wanted to go different, and I went with this khaki greeny shade. I think it really adds a little something something. You don't really see it, but then you see it, so I really like that. And then of course I'm just gonna go in again with my Benefit They're Real mascara. I gotta figure out what I want to put on my lips, and then I will zoom out to show you guys the finished look. Alrighty, so this is the finished look. And this is the finished look. I really enjoy it. I think that it came out really, really nice. And yeah, I must say, okay, so let's get into kind of the reviewing factor when it comes to this palette. This palette, pigmentation wise, blendability wise, formula wise, all very consistent when it comes to Nomad Cosmetics formula. I did say in, I believe, my Must Have Must Gag that I felt like these 2 rows might be very reminiscent to my Harajuku multi-chrome shimmery formula. It's not, but it's definitely a good formula. This formula overall is a lot more flaky, and I would say even toppery-esque. You can build it up so that it's very opaque, but it is generally like first pass, it's going to be more of a topper, flaky-esque. This row right here is going to be a metallic with some glitters in there. Some of the metallics are more metallic than others, but you can always foil them, put some NYX glitter glue, you'll be good to go. This row right here, so when I was looking at the palette and the back and all the information and stuff, they actually don't consider this a satin, which is surprising to me. I truly do consider it a satin, but I do enjoy the shade. I just won't be really checking for it like as a transition color. It will be either a lid shade color or it'll be like a graphic liner use for me. These 2 browns right here, pretty good transition colors, not the best, not the worst. I'm not really hating it. I really enjoy this row right here. Pretty good mid-tone shades. You get a mid-tone yellow, a mid-tone orangey, and then like a mid-tone brownie shade. These deeper shades, for me, for my complexion, they ain't that deep. So I really do enjoy this shade right here. I've used it in almost all of my looks. I really do enjoy this red too, almost all of my looks. For me, it's this this brown right here. I feel for somebody my complexion, I would love for that to be a deeper, richer brown. But do keep in mind, this brand is not catering to only to me and my complexion. It's catering to a wide range of complexions. So this brown may be a beautiful deepening up shade for people lighter than me. And on top of that, your girl has darker browns. Your girl has blacks. So in the grand scheme of things, am I hating this palette? No. Am I happy I have it? Yes. I really do enjoy Nomad Cosmetics formula overall. And honestly, let's come in close, shall we? Honestly, I may be getting the rest of their range. I really enjoy their formula. So yeah. So overall, I mean, I must say I really have enjoyed this formula. This definitely screams a sunset look, sunset eyeshadow palette. And in the grand scheme of things, I don't think I have an eyeshadow palette that screams this. What could have made this eyeshadow palette better are purple mattes. I feel like they definitely missed a really good advantage point with putting at least 1 or 2 purple mattes in here. I feel like some of these browns, especially like these 3 browns, I don't think we needed all 3 of them. I think they could have took out at least 1 of them and put a purple matte in there. And this would have just elevated this palette even more, made it a little bit more versatile and allowed us to do even more looks. Because you definitely can get some neutral brown looks with these 3 or 4 shades, and like maybe even kept this one and got rid of one of these 2. Because I believe it's this one that's like cooler toned. We didn't need a cool tone brown in here. At least it's cool tone of my complexion. So all that to say, I'm happy I picked up this palette. I would recommend it if you were interested in this palette. Is this a need? No. I mean, nothing's really a need. But I'm really happy I have it. I will continue to be an avid purchaser when it comes to Nomad Cosmetics. I'm purchasing them during my no-buy, so that tells you something. But I will definitely be picking up some more things. I still want to try their cheek formula. I still haven't picked up one of those. And I still am going back and forth between the Orient Express palette. So who knows? That may be picked up. We got Black Friday. We got all these mad deal sales situations coming up very, very soon, and your girl might be going ham. So yeah, I would love to hear from you guys down below whether you enjoyed this palette, enjoyed the looks. Which is your favorite look? I feel like it's gonna go between this one or the first one for me. The second one, it just wasn't kicking it. I feel like the first one, because it's a little original for me. I haven't done a look like that in a really long time. This one just because I love a classic. It's a classic. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, Black lives do matter. Please vote and wear a mask. I hope you guys are staying safe. And as always, y'all,